there's a lot in the UFC that's going on, and things that you got to keep your eyes on as well. And for us, one of the fun things to look forward to is the return of the Ultimate Fighter, set for March of 2021. Right. Um, right now, it will include the men's bantamweight and middleweight. The remote casting will be going on through November 13th. And right now, the coaches are TBD. The coaching, we have some ideas. We're going to throw this on Twitter. Make sure you check us out on Twitter and, vote in our poll as well. But let us know who your coaching predictions are for this. Right now, Nick, I want to hear from you. Who do you have as a possible coaching for this? I remember watching this when it was Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I think that I didn't have one of these guys on my list of potential coaches until I saw a tweet that Joe Rogan said something on his podcast in June of this year. Obviously, Joe Rogan is best friends with Dana White. Dana White tells him a lot of things. Joe Rogan said on his podcast in June that not only is the Ultimate Fighter returning, but that Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa are going to be the coaches, which is surprising. I would expect a guy like Israel Adesanya. That was number one on my list. I would love to watch that guy. He is money every time he talks. Every time you see him, he's money. Paulo Costa is an interesting guy. He's more reserved. He's not as quick-witted. I don't think there's anybody really as quick-witted as Adesanya. Paulo Costa doesn't have. I don't think he'll be able to keep up with the energy that Adesanya brings.
That's because he's a bloated Ricky Martin.
Yeah, I think that, and I don't know who they're going to end up getting, what kind of fighters they'll bring in, if they're going to be international or if most of them are going to be from North America. But it's going to be tough for a guy like Paulo Costa, who, English isn't his second language. It's going to be tough TV, and at the end of the day, this is a television series. So
English is his second language.
English is his second language, yes.
Right.
So if a guy like that is speaking to mostly people that are, that are English speaking, it might be tough for him, which isn't going to be good TV, and that's why I don't think he'd make such a great coach. I think there's better options out there, and this is my list of who I think could be potential coaches. I have Adesanya, Tony Ferguson, who was in The Ultimate Fighter, Jorge Masvidal, and Aljamain Sterling. I think those are guys that could be great coaches. And this is perfect for Aljamain because he's fighting in December against Peter Yan for the title. So he'll have plenty of time. They're starting up in March. I think that any one of these guys would be able to they'd be great coaches, first of all, and I think they'd make for great TV.
Yeah, for sure. Paulo Costa, yeah, I definitely raised some eyebrows. I don't think he'd be a very good coach. He doesn't seem like the person that, you could learn a lot from. He just seems like he does it his way, and, he's kind of, like you said, reserved and just, I don't want to say selfish because he's not, but it's just, he doesn't like to be bothered. It's his thing. Adesanya wants to talk to anyone and everyone that's around him at all points of time. Out of your list, I would be very interested to see Jorge Masvidal as the other coach. I think that would be extremely exciting to see him because he has a mouth of his own. On top of that, he is very good at coaching and mentoring, and he has a lot to learn from. And I think he'd be an absolute blast, opposite of Israel Adesanya, to have on the same show. I think that'd be a really incredible match.
Oh, it definitely would be. I mean, Jorge Masvidal is a sensation. He is a headliner by himself, and so is Izzy. And if you put those two together, it's absolute dynamite. So to everybody would be tuning in every single week to just hear those guys and what they have to say, because you know you're gonna get some great takes here and there from these guys, and it's gonna be it's gonna be fantastic. So I would that would probably be the ideal coaching setup for this. It'll definitely be interesting though. I don't know if the Adesanya Costa is for sure. That's just something that I've heard from somebody who has connections. And that was in June when we thought the Ultimate Fighter was coming back this year and that was coming back next year. So things could have definitely changed. Paulo Costa might not be interested. Adesanya might not be interested. We don't know how everything's going to play out, and this is something that we'll have to touch back on when we know more.
For sure. And like I said, we're gonna host a poll on our Twitter. It'll be up for the next week or so. We'll go over the results next week. But make sure you hit us up at Trash Talk Media. We're on Twitter. Our link is in the description. So if you don't want to try to find us, all you have to do is go into the description, click the link. It'll bring you right to our page.